Okay, so I didn't want to make this video at all. I was going to do a review of something entirely different today just to try and keep testing the waters of this review thing, get something figured out, but instead, here I am fucking having to talk about The Boys. So I just watched the season finale. For context, I didn't watch it when it first aired. My dad told me about it, but I had other stuff going on at the time, so I never watched it. I kind of came into it in season 2. I didn't really see the first episode. I saw the second episode and kind of went from there. I've gone back and watched the first 2 episodes of season 1, and I'm trying to get into it. And it's very difficult because the title of this video is going to imply it is way fucking too political. And not political in like a good way. It's political in like a fucking late night TV show bad kind of way. Bit aggravated. So this isn't gonna be as neutral as some stuff would be. I'm probably gonna be a little bit more unhinged in this. It's not really a review at all because I don't have context for the whole series, so I can't really review it, you know? It's just gonna be me bitching about politics, and I don't want to make this fucking video because Boys is popular, and if I put that in the title, there's a chance that a lot of people see this, and this is not how I want my introduction to the world to be. But at the same time, if I don't sit here and bitch about The Boys being way too fucking political, I'm going to have a fucking stroke because it is really aggravating the shit out of me. So I came into it thinking, you know, it's a superhero show, it's gonna deconstruct stuff, man. It just shows the darker side of superheroes or whatever, you know. They might be scumbags, whatever the fuck. That was how my father explained it to me, and that's what I kind of expected. Now, of course, you can expect some people to throw some of their personal beliefs into something, but when you're gonna sit there and put out political rhetoric and suggest that your political rhetoric is right and the other side is fucking wrong, you're an asshole. I'm gonna try really hard not to sit here and talk about my personal beliefs because I have a bit more tact and I'm not a fucking asshole who's gonna sit here and pretend that my ideas are right. Unlike, apparently, some of the writers on The Boys. And I don't think it's a terrible show. I enjoy parts of it. There is good writing in it. But every 5 minutes, having Stormfront fucking say some goddamn line that you've heard Donald Trump say is like... It takes me out of it. It takes me out of it because it's fucking political bullshit. Because it's haha Donald Trump. It's very easy to make fun of Donald Trump. You're not talented for writing some shit to make fun of Donald Trump. It's not difficult. Everyone in the fucking world has done it. Is thousands of fucking hours of people making fun of Donald Trump for the past 4 fucking years. You don't need it in your fucking superhero show, and if you're gonna put it in, you could make it a little more subtle. Instead of just literally saying the same fucking shit that he says. And like I said, I haven't seen season 1. I get the idea Homelander is supposed to be Donald Trump, kind of. Which I thought he was Superman, but season 2's made me think he might be a Donald Trump stand-in. I don't know. But you don't need her sitting here, Stormfront, you don't need her fucking saying, keep America safe again. That's painfully, obviously Donald Trump. And it takes no talent to write that. It's fucking amateurish. It's bad fucking late night television show levels of writing. To to do that. It's so fucking easy. And with a show with this much production value, god damn, they can do better than that. Fuck. It's obvious. The fucking Compound V and superheroes are standing for guns. The fucking... shouldn't have superheroes everywhere. Shouldn't have a gun. Everyone should have a gun. Fucking, they had the little scene of the fucking teachers having a gun to protect themselves from supervillains, obviously mocking the idea of teachers in classrooms having a gun, which I don't even think was ever a serious thing. I mean, a few people brought it up, but that was never treated seriously. But it's obvious they're just taking shots. It's obvious they're very democratic, which most people in the entertainment industry are. And they're taking shots at the conservative ideals, which a lot of people in the entertainment industry do. And that's why this is aggravating, because it doesn't take any fucking talent to do that. Everybody fucking does it. It's annoying. It takes me out of it. It makes me lose my fucking, what's it called, immersion. Because it's like, oh, well, there's a political reference, there's some political rhetoric, oh, well. You know, fucking Stormfront in this episode talks about white genocide out of fucking nowhere. White genocide. Because we have actual racial tension going on in the world, and you want to take shots at people who do feel somewhat discriminated against by blowing it overboard and suggesting that anyone with that who feels that way is just a fucking racist asshole, a literal Nazi. If you're white and you feel discriminated against ever, you're a Nazi, is essentially what that's saying. That's fucking bullshit. It's just that you're alienating anyone in your audience who isn't a fucking... that agrees with your politics. That's a bad business model. It's also being a fucking asshole. And I'm still tore up about the whole Nazi thing. Because when I found out that Stormfront was a Nazi, at first I thought, well, that's kind of cliche. Nazis are the bad guys, again. But I was like, at the same time, they were trying to do the Wonder Weapon thing. That's an endless gold mine for fiction. But now I look at it as being political rhetoric. Fucking neo-Nazis, you know. If you're not a Democrat, you're a neo-Nazi kind of thing. It's like, fuck. I'm sorry, this is not scripted. I'm just off the cuff because this is just aggravating again. If I don't say something, I'm going to have a fucking stroke because it's so aggravating to just constantly be barraged with politics. And it's aggravating in this instance because I want to like The Boys, and there is good stuff in it. Homelander's conflict with his son and Butcher and stuff is great. I don't want to like Butcher as a character, but I do. He's compelling, interesting, and I want to dislike him as a character. I don't know why, but I like him as a character. I don't like Huey. I don't like his romance with Starlight. That's shit. That's generic sex scene shit. Too many sex scenes in the show as a whole. Too much sex as a whole. I can praise them for one piece of political stuff. When they did the thing with Maeve and her girl, they found out that she was a lesbian, and they just started throwing her into all this gay shit, and, you know, companies are like, look at us, you know. That was funny. That was legitimate, because if someone is gay, all these companies always try to pretend that they support gay rights and gay marriage and shit, and you know they don't care. It's like they always get criticized every year for putting up the pride flag for a month and then taking it down immediately. that's funny, that's humorous, that isn't made fun of enough so it's not annoying. And it was subtle. It was fucking subtle. It took me a little bit to see what they were doing, and it was funny. It wasn't fucking painful, goddamn, literally reciting lines that Donald Trump has said. Another fucking, one of the shitty things, they had the scene with the guy who was watching Stormfront talk about super villains and super terrorists and the shit, and the guy's listening to it and gets all radicalized and goes and shoots a foreigner thinking he's a super terrorist, which is obviously, if you listen to Donald Trump and he's talking about Muslims being terrorists, then you're gonna think everyone's a terrorist, and the paranoia, you're gonna have to kill somebody. That's obviously what they're trying to say with that, and again, it's just annoying. I'm sick of hearing about Donald Trump. There's a lot of conspiracy theory shit about Donald Trump that is just so overboard because he's an offensive asshole. And having the show feed into that more is just divisive, and it's annoying, and I just don't want to see it. I really fucking don't want to see any more of this goddamn bullshit. It's hard to talk about it because, again, I'm trying not to put in my personal beliefs about, you know, gun control or immigration or terrorists or any of this shit. I don't want to do that. I don't want to sit here and assert that my opinion is right, but it's also very difficult because I can't really criticize it without giving me a little bit of my personal beliefs, you know. I'm trying to keep this just in the argument that they need to be more subtle with their political shit and that there needs to be less political shit as a whole. Because it's really taking me out of their show and ruining their show for me. And they're showing it for me, and I'm sure in LA everyone loves it because they're all of that ilk. I'm not. I'm independent. I don't agree with either side because to agree with a side is fucking stupid. If you think one side's better than another side, you're a fucking idiot. I don't mind saying that. Because if you're a Republican, I think Republicans are the best thing for the country, you're a fucking idiot. And if you're a Democrat and you think Democrats are the best thing for the country, you're a fucking idiot. Two sides of the same coin. Either way, you end up with a totalitarian fucking the military state piece of shit where you don't have rights. Either way, it's just a different way of how you get there, but you'll get to the same area. It's like you got these two lines, and here's the top of the pyramid, and either side's gonna get you there. Either way, everyone ends up a fucking slave, essentially. Not really a slave in the traditional sense that we think, but a slave in the sense of you work to keep the country running and you don't really have any rights kind of slave. And that's as political as I'll get, or at least I'll try. Back to the boys. Yeah, I do want to finish season 1. I'm really hoping that there's stuff's a little more subtle. It only seems like the political stuff got really bad when Stormfront was around. I don't know if that actress just hates Donald Trump, but it's clear that with that character they really wanted to go hard with Donald Trump. And essentially say that Donald Trump is a Nazi, and clearly his supporters are also Nazis, is the message of that. And that's just, again, it's divisive. It alienates your audience. If you really want to say, well, if someone's a supporter of Donald Trump, we don't want them watching our show, then you're just a fucking asshole. And you're the piece of shit in that discussion, because you're the one discriminating. You're the one being bigoted and exclusive and an asshole. Just fucking. And also, what about in the future? Assuming The Boys goes for like 8 seasons, in fucking 2035, if you're 15, I mean, you would be born this year, and you watch it, you're going to be like, what is all this shit about teacher having a gun to fight a supervillain? That doesn't work. Because that was my initial reaction. I was like, a gun doesn't help against a super terrorist. What the fuck, or a supervillain? And then I realized it was a political thing. They won't know that. They aren't going to know about Donald Trump. So what does that do with this? It dates it. It'll make it outdated because it can't relate to what the fuck is happening in your story because you have too much political bullshit in your story that's based around the real world political turmoil of today. That dates your fucking shit, bro. You can't do that. No one's gonna understand it. To just break into these fucking political tirades and be like, this mentality's bad and this mentality's good. It's just bad for the fucking show. It just is. It doesn't do any service to the story. It just distracts. And for me, it takes me out. Every 5-10 minutes, it seems like something pops up. And I'm like, oh, well, this is a reference to horrible shit. Fucking Maeve saying she's defeated, and Starlight comes, oh, you gotta fight for what's right. It's clearly, I don't want to vote anymore because I'm defeated. Oh, you gotta get Trump out of office, that kind of thing. And maybe that wasn't the intention of that scene, but because of all the political shit just being shoved in my fucking face, that was my takeaway of that. Everything all of a sudden became political, and I'm just actively looking for the goddamn subtext in everything. It's just annoying. It's bad. I don't dislike the show, but those moments are making it really hard for me to also enjoy the show. Because when I start getting into it, I'm immediately taken out of the world. Another piece of praise for something that was subtle was the Church of the Collective, or whatever the fuck it's called. Again, I don't know. The Deep and A-Train are part of, that's trying to get them back in Navat. That's, I believe, a reference to Scientology, but again, it's subtle, so I can't really tell. I don't think it's a shot at religion in particular, because it hasn't been religious at all. It's a church, a religion, a spiritual group that is very active in the superhero world, much like how Scientology is very active in the entertainment industry. And if you're part of Scientology, they can get you a role in the entertainment industry. At least that's my takeaway from it. I might be wrong, but I think that's what that is. And if that is, that's good. That's subtle, and that's what they need more of. They need to get rid of these fucking late night talk show level writers and get more of these subtle people who are good at what they're doing, because you take one shot at Donald Trump every 3 episodes, I might not care, I might not even notice it, but when it's just constantly in your face and it's just obvious fucking keep America safe, that's so bad. A fucking squirrel with half a brain could have wrote that shit, bro. I'm sick of it. And I've read a thing. Apparently the writers want it to be political. And their focuses are on white supremacy and gun control and just all this bullshit. And it shouldn't be. You can reference something without just demonizing an entire side of an argument and telling people your side is wrong and our side is right and fuck you if you disagree, because that's just not helping anybody. That's just bullshit. And anyone who does that, anyone who thinks that way, is a fucking asshole. So I'm assuming the boys will continue. Hopefully they get a little more subtle with their shit. I'm sure Joe Biden's gonna win the presidency, so hopefully they don't feel the need to keep taking shots at a literal half of the population of the United States for just having a different idea than them.